Body Type with Uma on FBI Radio 94.5. You are with me, Tanya Ali, on Monday Arvos, and we are lucky enough to be joined by Sophie and Annabelle from the stellar local act themselves. Hello.
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 Thank you so much for dropping whatever you were doing at Kmart and coming into FBI Radio for a chat.
Could have spent a lifetime in there. Thanks for saving us.
I wanted to start by talking about that track that we just heard, Uma. It comes off your most recent release, EP2, and it was such an instant love for me with that song that I've been listening to it on repeat since it came out.
Cool.
And even more so when I kind of realised what it was actually about. So when you released the music video for it, you said it was a rallying cry inspired by Uma Thurman and a love song to women like Erin Jean Norville who keep calling to account the powerful. Could you talk a little more about this idea and how the song came to be?
Well, I only fully realised that that's all that it's about because I was like, Georgia, isn't it still kind of a love song or something? And she's like, no, it's actually just about that. It's about what I was reading at the time and like about Erin Jean Norville and Uma Thurman, who was in some kind of like hectic car crash because she was supposed to do some crazy stunt on the set of Kill Bill. Don't know. Sophie, can you please say more?
Yeah, so Georgia was the lyricist behind this song, and she has managed to turn an incredibly toxic situation into a really powerful, poetic song that it feels so good to play live as well. It always feels supercharged, and yeah, nice one, Georgia.
Go, Georgia. Yeah, it's a super empowering track. So both of you, along with Georgia, share songwriting duties, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Every track you release still has this unmistakable body type sound.
Cool, that's good to hear.
Could you give us a peek behind the curtain at your songwriting process?
Yeah, it's funny that you ask that because I actually think we've reached a point where it's really evolved from when we began. Thus far, it's sort of the origin of a song comes from one person who generally has lyrics or a poem or a chord structure and then brings it to rehearsal and then it goes from there. But recently we've just started working on some new material and it just feels far more collaborative. It feels like these two EPs have really tracked a time period and a journey from the body type genesis to where we are now. And yeah, it's very collaborative. So I love that you can hear that in EP2. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're getting better at the kind of language of doing things together and being able to openly discuss what we want to do on a song and that kind of thing instead of having the anxiety of being like, I need to bring a fully formed thing that everyone can just take and not have to give too much to. I mean, we always do put in a lot collectively, but yeah, it's just getting a bit easier.
Yeah, I guess with time, everything kind of does. From what I know of how you started out as a band, you kind of went into it just wanting a jam pretty much. With that in mind, how does it feel having just come back from your debut US and UK EU tours?
It's pretty hilarious.
It's like, it's so, I still can't even really reflect on that, like, how you a time has to pass sometimes before you can look back and be like, what? We were just overseas playing to packed rooms in America and stuff. Yeah, it's very surreal.
It's so surreal that we're not really questioning it.
Yeah. We just feel like, what do you call those things in the desert? The spin effects,
mirage.
We're just kind of being pushed along by some kind of breeze right now. And yes, it's going in a good direction.
How did those shows go?
They were good. I felt... It was like the first show of each one I felt kind of funny, and then after that it was all good. Actually, no, we went off to a pretty good start in New York. We were playing with Fontaine's DC. That was my ankle cracking. Yeah, they were really fun shows because everyone loves Fontaine's at the moment, but the venue and everything and just getting to hang out in New York and do that was just crazy and bizarre.
And people really take a punt on openers overseas. They do here as well, but, people like showed up for our early sets and came and had a chat after, and yeah, it was very, very fun.
Do you have any weird or wild tour stories?
Oh, the first thing that came to my head, and I hate that it's this story, is that none of us had really driven overseas before, so we were a little bit nervous about it. And then we rocked up at the van hire place, and it was this giant splitter van that we were going to have to drive, and For those who do not know what that is, there's no
like a
rear
school bus.
view. It's like a mini school bus.
Oh my God.
You know, we're all nervous drivers, and then Cecil was like, "Don't worry, guys, I'm just going to do the first shift. We'll get used to it. It'll be fine." Steps in, and it's a manual, and she's the only one who can drive manual. So then Cecil, big shout outs to our queen Cecil, who had to do all the driving for us for the first little while. Is that the most boring story?
No,
of all
because
time?
my story is about getting into the slightly less big van with Georgia when you guys were setting up in Wales, and we went into this car park. We scored a park within seconds, and we were like, sweet, that was so easy. Like, when life has never been so sweet. And then we came out later after the show to get it, and we didn't realize that the park next to us had been empty at the time, but then all of a sudden everything was a little bit snug, and at the point where we could have gotten out, we were actually touching two cars, so there was no physical way to actually get out without banging someone up. And some person had to jump out of the car and like get out for us because we were too scared to push on the other cars, and they just gently reversed and went forward into these two cars, pushing them to their limit of damaging them. And it was the most stressful thing ever. The other most stressful thing was watching Cecil jump over a bollard trying to clear it, and it caught on her crutch and she just fell on the ground.
Oh no.
And this is the sort of situation where she'd probably just break a leg because that's kind of a thing.
Body type.
Boy.
Bad drivers and bad bollard leapers.
Jesus Christ.
One of the best things, as I was saying, about seeing you guys play, along with the killer tunes and A+ musicianship, is that you always look like you're having an absolute ball. In a feature on Tone Deaf last year, Alison Gallagher wrote, "One gets the impression too that the women in Body Type have clicked on a level that goes beyond simply musicianship, that they're deeply in tune with one another in a personal sense as well." What have you learned about each other that you probably wouldn't have without being in a band together?
I've said this before. It's like this, whatever this thing is that we're in is beyond friendship. It's beyond siblinghood. It's beyond matrimony. It's like
It's so exposing.
Yeah.
There's like
no
no facet of each other that we haven't really explored.
Yeah.
Without like unwittingly.
Like literally everyone knows everything about each other to the point where it's like people get angry when I'm like, you know that you do this all the time, and they're like, what? Because you know you just know everything about each other.
It's a game that we've been playing at the moment where we're like, George, you know that you do a little whistle with every song when you hear it, like, and then she's like, oh, do I? No, she doesn't do it anyway.
It's
we're
like
deconstructing each other too.
It's like being in a cave of mirrors all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel really fortunate that we have fallen into this. It's a very precious kind of relationship that we're lucky to experience through the wonderful world of music.
You've also spoken about kind of growing together. I feel like you were just talking about it now too. And it seems like the intense environment of kind of touring can put that growth into overdrive. Is there anything you've learnt about yourselves, like during this period particularly of touring?
No, I think I always had my suspicions that I needed alone time, but that's been confirmed. But I think we've just learned to be better at communicating very openly.
I think we've all become a lot braver and a lot more confident. And by that, I mean if something goes wrong on stage, we just get on with it a bit, you know? Like, I think everyone's, become a lot braver and you're more self-assured or something.
We've learned the definition of rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's the pull quote. You are about to perform a song for us from EP2 in a moment. And actually, you just put out a very cute music video for it that I'd love to chat about quickly. The song is Insomnia, and the music video is a little tour diary. Sophie, you kind of put this together.
I did. I've never done that before, and somehow I convinced them to trust me, the band to trust me to do it. But I found this old Handycam, one of those fabulous tape Sony Handycams from the 80s and 90s in a junk store, and I was told it didn't work. Definitely did work. It's very heavy. Carried it all the way around America and just got it out at every opportune moment and filmed these, dolts doing their dolty things.
Definitely some camera shyness in there. But
But my favourite moments in the clip was when they weren't looking. Like, my favourite shot actually is this shot of Annabelle. The light is just touching her cheek in the first chorus, and it's beautiful.
So cute. Well, let's hear the tune right now. This is Body Type, Annabelle and Sophie from the band playing Insomnia live on FBI Radio 94.5.
All right.
Knees are weak, arms spaghetti.
Look how deep into the infinite and taking all of it all. Want you to ride. Sun has set upon this stranger dress, a symbiotic mess for you and I. Words will whisper, chests will fall and rise. You know I can't resist what's in your eyes. Oh, your tender touches in the nighttime, baby, I can't sleep. You are insomnia. Tender touches in the nighttime, baby, I can't sleep. You are insomnia. I look out into the infinite. I can't make sense of it all, though I try. Lights go dark, the moon and stars come out. You know I can't resist what's in your eyes. Oh, your tender touches in the nighttime, baby, I can't sleep. You are insomnia. Tender touches in the nighttime, baby, I can't sleep. You are insomnia. I'll see you in the morning, unless we're sleeping till the darkness comes again. Tender touches in the nighttime, baby, I can't sleep. You are insomnia. That far, it's not